Disney is up to more Hulu shenanigans today in order to prop up Disney Plus before they can merge the two streaming services all together into one app. I've also got an update on some of my previous reporting that said that Disney was going to combine Hulu and Disney Plus figures into a single reporting structure in order to hide the lack of profitability for Disney Plus. Looks like there might be a hiccup there. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. One of the most fascinating things about working in this space and talking on social media is that sometimes people reach out, credible people, and sometimes incredible people, to provide additional information that there's no way that we could have been aware of in the past. And also in the never-ending struggle between Comcast and Disney about the share of Hulu, it seems that while they might have an agreement on paper, there are still discussions going on that are going to delay the full integration of Disney Plus and Hulu into one app. And what's more, that will slow them down on the accounting side, providing more of an issue to Wall Street investors than we originally had predicted. Let's talk about that. To that, this document is from December of 2020, and it is the Disney Investor Day. We could call it a prospectus, probably not that detailed. It's the transcript of what was said on Disney Investor Day in 2020 as Bob Chapek was talking to investors about Disney Plus very specifically. Given the value of growing our subscriber base, as you've seen today, we plan to reinvest revenue generated from our better than expected subscriber growth back into content investment. Thus, we continue to expect Disney Plus to achieve profitability in fiscal 2024. They've got 1 year left. Again, I'll note that this guidance includes Disney Plus, Star, Star Plus, and Disney Plus Hotstar. Can anybody point out what the difference in Disney Plus, Star, Star Plus, and Disney Plus Hotstar is? Let's start with Star. What is Star?
Well, I know Hotstar is their Indian based.
Yeah, it's what they bought. I think Culture had something he had to do there for a second.
No. It came along with the Fox deal.
Yes, right. Hotstar came with the Fox deal very specifically. That is the streaming service that they inherited from Fox when they bought when they paid $70 billion for the rights to Fantastic Four. Which maybe they might get around to finally casting that one. I have heard they've been cast, but Hotstar
should be close.
They've kind of killed Hotstar because Hotstar had the streaming rights to cricket.
The IPL.
Yeah. And they still have the linear, so the broadcast rights to cricket. But now that they've gotten rid of that, that's where the 10 million subscriber losses and all the massive losses from Disney Plus right now are coming from people exiting Disney Plus Hotstar. But
and
that being said,
Hotstar was like the ARPU was like what 70 cents or something. It was a fraction of
minimal, like $0.25 per person.
Right. Yeah, they crush the ARPU average for Disney. And they're part of, I think, the package that's maybe being sold to that media mogul in India. So,
yes, I think you might be right. And of all the things that Bob Iger has said, no, we're not selling. He didn't deny that they might be selling India. He was still pretending like, no, we're not selling anything. We're just shutting down things rather than selling them. Star Plus and Star are Hulu outside of the United States, or everything that we would know as Hulu outside of the United States. This is another reason that we've been kind of able to predict that Hulu was going to be fully combined with Disney Plus here. We've also maybe seen some internal documents. We should have rushed, but we weren't quite sure. The Project Hulk thing where they bring Hulu as part of Disney Plus. Yes, they are going to be shutting down Hulu. So here is the scoop here. Not that I want to be breaking news on this show all the time, but thank you everybody for being here as we do it.
Please.
It looks like things are actually pretty rocky and not that settled with Disney buying Hulu, and it might take a little bit longer than we expected. I heard from a source that I trust that I'm wrong. I made a prediction that Disney would try to combine the numbers of Disney Plus and Hulu into a single number so that they could pretend that Disney Plus is profitable by just saying, oh, it's all of direct to consumer together. It sounds like that might not be the case because they might not be legally allowed to combine those figures until everything is actually combined. Now, I'm not yet ready to say that I was wrong. I think in spirit, it's going to be correct. Yeah. And this is not me coming with my tail in my legs and trying to do damage control. I'm trying to admit that I have additional information here and just going ahead and putting the transparency out there. It seems like things are a little bit rockier behind the scenes between Comcast and Disney right now. I'll also say, which we probably have a good guess, that maybe all of those valuations have already occurred, and if that's happened, then the third party evaluators have come in. Disney did also name a guy named J.P. Gorman, who is from Morgan Stanley, to their board, and I haven't yet got an answer on how Comcast feels about Disney naming naming the CEO of the bank that is valuing Hulu for them to the board of the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, that seems like a huge conflict of interest. I mean, are we still thinking that they're going to hit their Q4 fiscal 2024 estimates in terms of profitability for Disney Plus?
Well, it's funny that you should ask that particular question, because I have lost my link, but I'm going to bring it up here.
If they don't, that's going to be massive.
I have a feeling there's very much a reason why they wanted to get the Hulu Hulu deal done. And I think that it feeds into this idea of Project Hulk. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, this is an effort to obfuscate two things at the same time. Am I on the right track, Jonas?
Yes, you absolutely are. Sorry. Here's the link that I meant to share. And thank you there. Percy Jackson and the Olympians Disney Plus series premiere to also stream on Hulu. That's interesting. So if you go to now, if they're getting rid of Hulu, which they aren't getting rid of Hulu, but if they're saying that they're putting Hulu over onto Disney Plus, why would they also stream this on Hulu?
I'm guessing to hopefully increase the numbers for the show between two platforms.
Yeah, first of all, it increases numbers. Second of all, Hulu has a much more robust ads platform, ads base on their service. So they'll actually get ads on Percy Jackson and the Olympians. But if you were hoping to note that Disney Plus is profitable, and you wanted to make sure that other people were contributing to the success of Disney Plus, what's the best way to make Disney Plus profitable? By forcing your other segment to pay for your content.
Oh, gotcha.
So
wow.
this enables, and at this point they would be irresponsible if they did it. And I'm not saying this is why they did it. I'm just pointing out that the benefit here, if they put Percy Jackson and the Olympians on Hulu, then Hulu has to, on some level, pay for Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
We heard about this via ABC, right? With a couple of those programs where they would put out a couple episodes here or there and get another arm of the Walt Disney Company to kind of bankroll another, an investment that originated from another branch, let's say.
Yeah, and this is a standard industry practice here. If you move it to another streaming service, they would have to pay at least a fair market value for what that series is.
Wow.
So they get to determine, and again, Disney pays like $200 million per series, and now they get to pretend like, oh no, it only cost us this much. When they said that Black Adam made money, when The Rock came out and said, no, Black Adam made money, that was because Warner Brothers got a check from Max. They took money from their right pocket and put it in their left, the way that Valiant Renegade likes to say. Yeah. And they said, oh, look at this. All of a sudden, we have an extra $100 million over here that came from where? Oh, Uncle David says it's okay. So in this case, the threshold for Percy Jackson and the Olympians being profitable, that just went much lower. So I think this might be a little bit of trickiness on their part. I do think it might be more successful on Hulu, and also Hulu will make them ad revenue. And I wonder if it's some kind of arrangement to where the more money that it makes on Hulu, the more money that Disney Plus gets.
Incredible.
So a little bit of trickiness there.
Well, I mean, and again, I think this all feeds into Project Hulk, Jonas. I think, that's just one of the steps that they're taking to try to, right the ship financially. But it also was, and again, if you were going to go there, please stop me. But I think this creates the opportunity to merge the two entities together and then restructure, because it'll allow them to obfuscate and then say, oh, well, Disney Plus and Hulu are now combined. There's no, we don't have a way of determining whether or not Disney Plus is now profitable or not. Even though that's a metric that we set in place for the investors, we know overall that our ARPU is fantastic between the joint services, and we'll continue to talk profitability, because I think it's even more. I think it's more obvious that they want to obfuscate all the financials behind Disney Plus and hide that $15 billion in the red that they are and everything else.
So. Yeah. So I'll also add that $12.50. Culture, you pointed out something on stream the other day that I had not thought of. That $12.50 per user that they make on Hulu right now in revenue, that might not even include the 1/3 that that Comcast makes off of here, because of the 33% that's held by Comcast. So there's a potential for that being an additional 50% higher. Now, even if that's not the case and they just split the difference and say Disney Plus, which is around $7, sometimes it's down to $6. Right. If they just combine those two together, and law of averages says that it goes up by about 50% on Disney. Obviously, that's napkin math, guys. Don't put that all on screen and embarrass me. I'm just using general math here for the sake of the argument. They get to pretend like all of their shows are a lot more profitable under one singular app. So if they combine everything, right, then they wave this magic wand and no one questions if they're profitable.
Well, and remember, VR pointed out, I believe, during the last earnings call that, Disney hasn't necessarily been prioritizing Hulu in terms of advertisements, in terms of the push, right? In terms of, really developing that platform, and because they want to, obviously keep that price low, that they were going to have to eventually shell out to Comcast. Mm-hmm. That's led to some things back and forth there. But what happens when they do start prioritizing that service as, solely owned by the Walt Disney Company? What happens when they do start pushing that?
I think all of this is detrimental to Disney to combine it, despite the fact that they are desperate to make Disney Plus look profitable. Yeah. I think ultimately it'll end up hurting them overall, because they'll basically be lowering the quality of Hulu down to Disney Plus. They're unlikely to be able to elevate Hulu, is I guess my position there.
Right. And it'll also add an excuse for them. That when subscribers drop off, they're going to use the same excuse that David Zaslav used. When we combine these two, of course, subscriber numbers are going to go down. And that will also give them an excuse on the stock price, because as much as we don't like to admit it, Wall Street is addicted to subscriber numbers. When Warner Brothers announced that they had paid off amazing amounts of debt, but subscriber numbers went down, their stock price took a huge hit. When the Walt Disney Company announces that they are paying billions of dollars that they don't have, but subscriber growth was up 300,000, like some pittance, the stock price goes up. Yeah. So it's ridiculous. And also they also said that they were going to be doing this ESPN streaming service for $35 a month. Sometime in the next little while. So I don't understand why it is that Wall Street views all of this as startup mentality and, whatever we're going to go on this whole Disney Plus roller coaster again.
Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. This clip was part of our now regular Thursday live stream, which starts at noon Eastern time. Of course, just hit the notification bell if you'd like YouTube to just tell you when that is. Like this video if you like this video. If you know somebody who is as interested as we are in this sort of thing, then maybe you should share the link with them. And of course, please consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.